Hello and welcome to Broman Videos. My name is Timothy Broder, creator of Broman Videos, and I just got out of watching Batman vs. Superman about 45 minutes ago. That's right, 45 minutes ago. So I'm still digesting this movie, still taking it in. Big juggernaut of a movie, but wow, a lot to talk about. So we're going to jump in. We're going to have our spoiler video, spoiler movie review, all about Batman vs. Superman. So if you have not seen this movie, like this video, put it in your favorites, come back and check it out after you've seen the movie, because we're going to jump into spoilers. I'm going to talk about things that worked in this movie, things that didn't work in this movie, and then overall, what was my overall opinion, things like that. So without further ado, last warning, we are jumping in. So let's get rolling. So what I'm going to talk about first is what worked in this movie. What were some things that I thought were great? What worked? What furthered this story? What were some things going for it? Let's start off. I really do agree with some of the comments out there. Some of you guys probably read. But yeah, Wonder Woman for me really worked. Couple things why. One, had a question mark going in about Gal Gadot. From her previous movies, I was not too keen on acting skills, acting chops. She is playing pretty much the biggest female superhero that we have. I mean, if anybody asks what superhero comes to mind when you think females, Wonder Woman is on the top of the chart. So big shoes to fill, and I thought she did really well in the sense that her performance, the action in the last third of the movie with Doomsday, man, made me just go, I cannot wait to see a Wonder Woman film. I just can't wait to see that film when it comes out. Really bought me into just really anticipating that film. So great job on her part. Again, we didn't really hear too many lines. She said maybe about 12, 14, 16 lines throughout the film. But like I said, from what I've seen, that's all I need to see to be ready for another film with her playing the part of Wonder Woman. Really enjoyed seeing all the little Easter eggs with her lasso and all the gadgets that we're used to seeing her have. But great job on that part. Another part that I really like is at the beginning with Batman. There are great scenes with Batman. One thing I really loved is the connection with Man of Steel. One thing going into there, I was like, well, it's been a few years since Man of Steel. How are they going to pull this off? They did a really great job in the sense of showing you that Batman had to come, or Bruce Wayne had to come to Metropolis. He came into the dogfight. He ran to his building, drove to his building, tried to get those people out, and right there, that's where all the action went down. That was the building that fell, and you could really see the anger. You could really see the passion. Really loved that scene. And then, of course, saying 18 months later and jumping in. Really enjoyed that part. Enjoyed a lot of little parts. I think Ben Affleck did a good job. I don't want to say who I like better, whether Christian Bale won me over or Ben Affleck now is the leading. I just have to say I love that it was a different take, a different style. I didn't feel like I was watching Christian Bale's Batman all over again or any of the previous Batmans. I have to say they did a good job honing in on their particular Batman, honing in on a more action-y, violent Batman. So some people might not like that. Some people might. I have to say I enjoyed the action. I don't know if I like the murderous side of Batman, but again, I like the new take, and I don't need to add my opinion in here, but I do believe Batman, they handled well. Ben Affleck, I loved his intensity, his acting, his voice, he really dove into that character, so I really enjoyed that. Also, what I really liked is some of the cameos in the sense of leading to the Justice League. That was one thing I was interested in since it is Dawn of Justice, and I knew that they probably weren't going to focus 100% on Batman vs. Superman the whole time. I did like seeing some of those cameos. However, some were misplaced, but we'll get into that in a little bit when we talk about some of the problems. But I really did enjoy just seeing a snippet of Aquaman, a snippet of Cyborg, a snippet of Flash, and just knowing that they're kind of known out there and they're just meta-humans. They're these few individuals that seem like they just know 4 at the moment. And I like how they kind of end at the end with Batman going, we got to find these and we're going to need them for a fight. And he was just saying, I have a feeling there's another. So I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the last third of the movie, the action, them teaming together. I could just watch Superman, Wonder Woman just go and team up together. That was a lot of fun. I just loved Wonder Woman's action. I love Superman really at the end, and Batman just with that action trying to save Superman's mother, trying to stay in the battle. Really enjoyed that. And I think what really got me and really hit me was the death of Superman. That right there, I did not even see that coming, and that really hit me. I was just like, wow. So kudos to them on the ending. I really enjoyed that last the last third of the film. Now let's talk about some things that didn't work for me. First, you might have heard some people talk about this in their other reviews. I also agree with this after watching the movie. One thing that bothered me, when I look at Man of Steel, one thing that bothered me in Man of Steel, which kind of parallels to what I'm going to talk to in a little bit, some of the sequences in the sense of flashback, back to story, flashback, back to the story. I just felt they were rushing that in Man of Steel. Batman vs. Superman, didn't think it did near as good as the job as they did in Man of Steel, and I didn't even like some of those sequences in Man of Steel going back and forth. Batman v Superman, very, very sloppy put together. Let me explain why. I felt like I was watching Batman and then boom, to Clark Kent and dealing with this. Boom, to Africa, and I don't even know what's going on in Africa. What is all this? And I guess there's a bullet that I'm talking about. Oh, and then ties to Darkseid possibly with the dream sequences and Flash coming out. That one Flash cameo felt so forced. And I get it, they're hinting, I feel like Flash is coming back and trying to find the right time period to tell them about what the future holds, because it seemed like he's like, am I in the right time period? Lois is the key. He was kind of giving some hints, but I just felt that was not necessary. I felt like if you took out all the dream sequences, that would have saved a good chunk of movie. You could have shortened the movie there, and it would have felt a little bit more cleaner, a little less out, because I felt like those really took me out of it because I don't really know the meaning. And me knowing a little bit about comic books, I can kind of guess that it's Darkseid. But other individuals that might not know as much as me and some of you guys that are watching this might not be able to connect and go, what is going on? He's having these nightmares? What? And then it just went on to another scene. So some of that, the going back and forth scenes, the Darkseid, the dream sequences, a little too sloppy, a little bit too long. Could have cut some of those scenes out, maybe added some of the scenes that maybe they cut out to kind of make it within the 2.5 hour time period. So that right there. Now, another thing I'm not quite sure yet whether I love, whether I hate, Lex Luthor. Let's talk about Lex Luthor. Going into the movie, I was really nervous about Lex Luthor from the feel I had from him from the trailer. Felt like it was going to be too Joker-ish, too unbelievable. Going in, the beginning, yeah, I was having a hard time, but then some scenes I could buy into it. He seemed almost insane, like a maniac, and he seems like a person that was built on wealth. His father has all this wealth. He's junior. He has all this wealth. Now he's going to do whatever he wants. But I have to say, by the end, he became a Lex Luthor I think I could buy into, but I can't say I bought into him yet. I have to see the next movie and see how it all plays out. So, looking at Lex Luthor, I'm not going to say I hate it or I don't. I just have to see how it plays out. So those were some of the big things. Now, Batman, same thing. Batman, like I said, Ben Affleck's performance was great. I loved in the sense that Batman, like I said earlier, wasn't the same Batman as Christian Bale or Michael Keaton or, any of those previous ones. But I don't know with the violence. I think something that bothered me is when you have Batman vs. Superman or a Batman movie or a Superman movie, little kids are going to come out to see that movie because it's Batman and Superman. Watching this movie, I could see where kids could get bored. Kids could get disinterested. And I even saw that in my movie theater. There was probably about a 8-year-old boy, and you could tell there were scenes that he was scared, and they walked him out of the theater and brought him back in his dad. Little bit frightening, especially with some of those dream sequences. So when you're thinking about that, I could see how this could be almost rated R, and maybe they needed to cut back some stuff. So when you're talking about seeing a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes and things like that, I can see why, in the sense that some of the parts in the middle was dialogue, and even I found myself starting to not zone out, but get a little disinterested in the sense that I was sitting there going, okay, let's get this on, let's keep moving. For instance, when Lex Luthor was talking to the senator at his home, you know, some of those scenes, it was great, and I think I was hoping for more impact, and I didn't get the impact that I wanted to feel. And again, it could have been with the sloppy forms of placing the scenes, where the scenes were placed, going from a dream sequence to this, to that, to Clark Kent, to Batman. Just very fast-paced, very just trying to play catch-up. That's how I personally felt. So we'll just have to see. But again, walking out of this film, when I think about other films, I just remember some other films that I think of and I go, wow, I just wanted to go straight back in that theater, and there were certain scenes I wanted to watch again. With this film, I'll be honest, I'm not going to rush right back out to see this film again. I might even just wait till it's on DVD and check it out again. I don't know if I could sit through the whole 2.5 hours again. It did feel like 2.5 hours. It didn't feel like it flowed by in a good pace. It felt long. I started feeling disinterested in the middle a little bit. But again, I didn't hate the film. I didn't love the film. I felt like it was a good film, an okay film. I just felt there was a lot of things they could have done better. But like I said, there was some great highlights. So anyways, those were some of the pros, some of the cons. Of course, there's probably more, but I'm still trying to digest a lot of things. Just came out of it. I'm still remembering some of the things I saw. So anyways, let's talk overall. What did I feel overall for the film? I have to say, this film in general, if I'm going at a scale of 10, I'm probably going 65. 65 just because I love the last third of the film. I love sequences within the film, like the cameos, learning about some of the metahumans, Batman, some of those aspects, Wonder Woman. But there was a good 2/3, or not whole 2/3, but, you know, 1/3 to 2/3, somewhere in the middle, that just didn't sit well with me. So that's why I'm going 65. I think it was an okay film. Just wish it was a little bit better, fixing some of those problems. But setting up for Justice League and setting up for some of these films, really looking forward to the Wonder Woman film. So we'll just have to see where it goes. But anyways, that's what I thought about Batman vs. Superman. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with some of the things? Do you disagree with some of the things that I said? Love to see your comments. Love to see what you guys thought about it. But anyways, I hope you guys all go out, see the movie as many times as you want. Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, that's my review. If you are new to Broman videos and this is your first video, check us out on Instagram. We're getting our Instagram rolling. And also, if you got any questions you want to send us, you can email us at bromanvideos@gmail.com. Anyways, my name is Timothy Broder. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun. Can't wait to see you guys when Captain America Civil War stops out. Anyways, Broder out. Peace.